Hello, this is the second video of creating textures within a picture. This time we are in Adobe Illustrator, so it's important that you've got your images. You can see within this that I have my original photo at the top, and I have what's going to look like the changes that we're going to be making, and then the final version we're going to be then bringing back into Photoshop. So you've got this, which is a very simplified down version of the photo. And then we're going to be putting this into Photoshop to put the textures on. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to place your picture within Illustrator. So what you do is go to File and Place, and then you can choose your picture and put it in, or you can just drag it in. As you can see, this is a scene from Fargo, and what I want to do is really clean this up, so simplify all this down so it's easy to put the textures in. And you can see within the picture I've only got that one cross, and the pictures and the cars have been simplified down, and we want to then simplify that again. So I'm going to just get rid of the other images because you've seen those. We're just going to be using this image. So I'll drag that down into my main area. The good thing about Illustrator is you can this is my canvas, but I can kind of drag, and unlike in Photoshop, you can kind of arrange all things around it. So you don't need to necessarily keep to this canvas size. You can use all the other stuff around if you want to kind of get rid of some things or add some things or have some things to the side. Anyway, so this is my photo that I'm going to be image tracing. So I'm going to be tracing the image to make it a simplified version. Now you're going to have to go to Window and get Image Trace up, and this is what you'll come up with, the option. Now if I was just going to do a straight black and white, what you'll have is something like this. If I was just going to do a straight black and white trace, I can preview it, and that's something what will come up. So you can actually make a kind of comic book type look if you're image tracing, and that is actually quite nice. You know, I could use that and just put textures within, but I just want a little bit more. I can go all the way up and get more white in, but I do actually want more colours in there. So I want them simplified, but I do want some more colours. So I'm going to have to go to the mode, and at the moment it was black and white, and go to colour, and then I want to make the full tone. So this is all the range of colours that are within the picture. If I was just going to use limited, it will go into kind of greys, which we don't want. I can show you what that looks like if you want. Oh, wait, sorry, because there's 30 colours, I don't want 30 colours. I want them to maybe be about 5 different colours within the picture. Then I can preview that. Yeah, you can see it's all kind of greys and stuff. Greys and greens, which I don't really want again. So I'm going to undo that. Right, so I'm going to go again to colour, I'm going to go to full tone, and again I'm going to bring that down to maybe about 5. Now, with your picture, depending on how many different tones you want, you might want more, you might want less. So go between, for what we want, maybe 4 to 7, 8, something like that. And you can see the advance. I want to ignore the white that is in the area. And you can bring some of this, the paths down, so if you want less paths, if you want less corners to your image that you're going to have, you want to make it smoother, then you'll bring the corners and you'll change that. But I'll just preview that and see what that looks like. So colour, full tone. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm wanting. I'm wondering if I need to maybe have one more colour within that. So I might do it again, colour, and instead, remember, full tone, and I'm going to go to fine instead. So I have one more within that, ignore the white again, preview. Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, with the last one I did, so the full one, I think I had a little bit more tones within that, so maybe I had 6. but that's okay for now. Maybe I'm going to do one more time. So color, I know for the tutorial I should have just gone for it, but maybe I'm going to need a little bit more. So okay, so color 7, ignore the white, preview, full tone 7. I should have just gone for it, but let's have a look if that's any better. Okay, I think it's very similar actually to what it was before. I don't know why I'm having a different effect. But then I'm going to, okay, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to expand it. So now you can see that all of the things are editable like we have done in the past. So in this part, I can actually get rid of those black borders by using the white arrow. If you remember in my past tutorials, we can now adjust all the things that we want with this, and I don't want those black borders. So I can just delete. What I'm doing is backspacing those, and I'm deleting, and I can zoom in. And now what I'm going to do is you can see that all of these, I could have maybe got rid of them if I'd made the curves and smoothed it out, but I want to make these, all these kind of not very nice tones. I want to smooth them out. You can see from my other image that I had. Oh, wait a minute. If you can try and kind of remember it. I had it much smoother, so I want to smooth those out. So what I'll do is use the picker tool, select the tone that I want, and then using the pen, sorry, I will need to be on layer 2, using the pen, I just want to kind of smooth those sections. So something like that, and then I can click off, and I can see that they're smoother. Might even want to make that smoother. So again, I go to my pen, and there we go, and I smooth it down. So remember, using the picker tool, I can select all the areas I want. Now I can also, if I select them all, is actually merge all those. But if you can remember using before the shape builder tool, it means I can then merge all those areas together. Actually, I only want to do these ones. So again, I can use the white arrow, select the areas I want, and if I press Shift down, sorry it took me a while, I can select so it's pressing Shift, I can kind of select the areas that I want to merge, and I won't merge all the others, which was happening before. So now I can actually select those areas and merge them all. But that's only after I've made that pen tool. So then if I then click off, I can then see that's a much smoother shape. And it'll be the same with this. So I want to smooth that out. So again, I'd use the pick tool. I'm only going to do this one more time because you can kind of see where I'm going with this. I want to just kind of smooth the areas. But you can do it with your whole picture. You don't want to watch me do this for another half an hour. But it will probably take me about half an hour to get it how I want it. So I'm going to smooth this down. I don't want all those funny kind of, so you can see that I've done that. Looks nicer, smoother. I'll do the same with that. Very important within this area. So again, I want to use the Shift tool using the white arrow, Shift tool to the areas that I want to merge, and then I go to this, and then I can merge them. If I didn't use the Shift tool and the white arrow, I wouldn't be able to select all of those areas. Again, select off, and so it is a much smoother kind of, is it? A much smoother design. Let me try that again. So I can do it with this snow. I can make that cleaner. Get rid of all of those bits I don't want. Looks too computer generated if I kept them. Again, getting rid of some of those. But you might quite like some of these kind of shapes. So I would actually try and recreate those areas. So again, I would use the pen picker, use the pen, and actually get kind of, and remember you can get curves by click and hold. So you might want to kind of get a smoother kind of feel within that. I'm using my pen, using my mouse rather. I'm not using my Wacom for any of this, but you could, look at the difference is, I could, if I wanted to, this is doing it with my Wacom screen, and it's just a little bit quicker to do that. Okay, so if I was going to do this with you, I would smooth all of this area, smooth all of that area, smooth these. So it's just more clean up her face, maybe. Get this more defined. You know, this is kind of messy. Let me do that so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can do it. I'll select it using the pen. And I think that kind of part is quite important to clean up, because you want to make sure that you can see and define the legs. Clean up all of this area, okay, until you're kind of happy. And then I think, if I've got it right, that was my overall. So I kind of cleaned up some of the areas. I cleaned up here. I could have maybe cleaned up more of this, but I definitely cleaned up that. And that you would then drag in so it's ready to use in Photoshop. So that is the end of the second video, because that's what you'll be doing, is cleaning up all of those spaces. You can see actually where I've kind of used and cleaned up. And then I'm going to be bringing this into Photoshop, ready. Let me just show you what it looks like big. Okay, so I've got rid of this. Can you see I've cleaned up there? And it's now ready to bring into Photoshop. Okay, thanks for listening.